Live. Yes, everybody, us on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. So little announcements just happened. We knew that we were going to be signing. Yesterday, he put the whole 𝙎𝙬𝙁𝙎 stuff up, didn't he? But it was at Rush Green. But the club have just put on Twitter, "Let's go," with a Brazilian sign and the thumbs up, and it says 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙬 Brazil, and a very, very quick. Let me so I can show it to you. Let me see. But it's the confirmation of the 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎 deal. We knew it was going to be happened anyway, and it's now been confirmed, which is fantastic news. We haven't got the full details just yet, but I'm just trying to put up the. I just wanted to bring it to you as soon as we got it. This is what the club has just tweeted. Come on, computer. Anyway, if you want to buy the thingamajigs, they're there. That's what's been tweeted. The club have just tweeted that on the official West Ham page. Let's go, with the expression "let's go." So obviously, we said yesterday through his Instagram posts, we knew it was at Rush Green. It's been sort of all throughout all the ITKs, 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁 Romano even ventured to say "here we go," which is a first for him for a while, because obviously the Bruno deal, although we don't talk about Bruno, no. But it's official. According to the West Ham, and actually it says "let's go," and the L and the G are bolded. Oh, they've been taking lessons from Uncle Howdy in the WWE with their QR codes. They put it in very carefully. LG. So exciting times. That being confirmed. Obviously, we saw, as I said on the Instagram post yesterday, he sort of gave it away. Picture him in the car next to. It was at Rush Green. You saw it at the Crossed Hammers. Apparently, he was in. Then he was pictured in his second Instagram photo in Piccadilly Square, celebrating a posh restaurant. So that's fantastic news. Absolutely fantastic news. And I, for one, am really excited by this. I think it shows, and I was talking to someone about it yesterday. I was talking to 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁, actually. We just put the interview out for that. And would this transfer have happened under David Moyes? Probably not, as we know, had the veto. And so, yeah, it wouldn't. For me, it shows this new way we're thinking, and the likes, as I said, we'll do Hammer's headlines in a bit, and there's 105. I think we're up to a bit more now. Absolutely mental, but yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited? I can't get in. The chat's not working, so if you're excited, great. If you're not, I don't know. But there's nothing in the chat happening, but it doesn't matter. We'll carry on regardless. As I said, we will imagine that'll be properly confirmed, or not confirmed. I imagine the social media video will be out probably officially tomorrow when the transfer window officially opens. I think with obviously the Euro summer transfer window 2024. Don't know what that noise was. Yes, June the 14th. The official transfer deadline day start. Well, not deadline day, but the day starts. So yeah, so that's exciting. I'm excited now. So one in. 105 linked, one in, less than 1% so far. But then we've got Will's in. There we go. Will's in. Hello, Will. Welcome. Are you excited? Are you excited about the prospect of 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁? Obviously, we had Tim Vickery on a week or so ago talking about him. He's a very interesting character in that he's only 18, but he's not like a stick, if that makes sense. He's quite built. And so physically, he's a strong lad, and he's only scored 1 goal for 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎, but it was a hell of a goal. And indeed, Paulo Ferreira, who's the 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎's coach, a guy who he was linked with, the Portuguese manager, rated him very, very highly. And 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎's have had a bit of a golden generation at the moment in terms of players. A few are going to Chelsea, Real Madrid, so they've done quite well, recently. And maybe Luis Guilherme's gone a little bit under the radar because of them. Tim suggested that his better position was more as a 10 rather than necessarily on the wing. But Samba Tim's done it again. Tropical Tim has done it again. There he is. That was him yesterday. Outside Piccadilly Circus, celebrating. But obviously that first one, and you can just see in the background using my detectives skills. You've got the crossed hammers there at the back of him, which was taken in the cab, posh cab, I'd imagine, by the looks of it. And that's Rush Green. That's Rush Green, and it is Samba time, Dave. Exciting. Samba Tim. I call it Tropical Tim. Samba Steidten. Samba Steiden's done it again. And we continue to be linked with even more South American players. Obviously, we spoke about it today with Matías Sulé from Juventus. He was on loan at Frosinone last season, and we've been linked with him. Juventus doing a big rebuild job as well with Thiago Motta, the manager, trying to move a lot of players around, and it looks like us and a couple of other Premier League players are linked in for the Argentinian winger, being labelled the next Di Maria. Obviously, the Wesley-Kozavo deal, again, still in discussion. The potential is maybe Wesley might come to us in January with the conclusion of the Serie A, Brazilian Serie A. So, that will run out until the end of the year. So Wesley could be joining Stim, could be joining Louis Guilherme in the West Ham fold, albeit maybe in the January transfer window. Good insurance policy for Kudus leaving next summer. Indeed,
it's in. It's announced. It's official. Woohoo!
Yes, we're in. First one done.
West Ham are delighted to announce the signing of young Brazilian winger Luis Guilherme from 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎 on a 5-year contract. The 18-year-old will complete his transfer on Friday, the 14th of June, when the summer transfer window officially opens. Russie B, subject to international clearance and work permits being issued.
Well, there you go. 7 things you didn't know about him. He left home at the age of 11. He's already won trophies for club and country. He won the Brazilian. What was he won so far? He's won the under-17 Sao Paulo State Championship, Brazilian Championship, Brazilian Cup, Super Cup. He's also won Brazilian under-17 tournaments. He's a South American champion. He's won the South American under-20s Championship. He's in 2023. He made his debut for 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎 when he was 17. And his first senior goal was a last-minute winner. You can go check it out on YouTube. Absolutely amazing. And the club have even put the bloody... they've even taken the quite unusual step of putting that in the website. And obviously 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙎 available Ferreira won the Brazilian title last season. So good.
It's good. Very good. Just to, I was listening to you obviously in the background because I felt like we were going to announce it at 1 o'clock, obviously in the back of that post. But it's just nice to see West Ham doing something a little bit differently, which is doing some business nice and early. Early that the window officially hasn't opened until tomorrow. But essentially, for me, this is one of the key factors that used to frustrate me under the old regime about waiting so long, because you want to bid in, and I think that's the key part for me. And it's not just for me; I think it's for everyone watching you, Russ, everyone that's there. Is the bidding in period, and how that actually helps a club to familiarize yourself around the surroundings, to familiarize yourself with people, and also it lets the team know the direction the club are going in, and the coach is going in, and Tim Steiden's going in, and therefore, if anyone was thinking, "Oh man, I might leave," well, I might not. You know?
Yeah, no, totally, totally. No, totally, man. I believe there will not be an episode of Ironcast because apparently he doesn't speak a word of the Queen's. That's what I've been led to believed, which is fair enough. The club have put their little trailer video out. As I said, he'll officially sign tomorrow when the transfer window opens. Yeah, brilliant.
So, do you know what? Again, to be based off the fact that we don't know a huge amount about him is not a bad thing. Because there's a lot of players out there that happens to. And we can only judge it from people who are the experts. And as Russ said earlier on, if you haven't already, go and check out the interview that Holly did with Tim Vickery. Fantastic interview, giving us a bit of an insight. And it does seem to be that West Ham are buying him on promise. But we have to also believe in the process, which is what we all apparently believe in, which is the new system that West Ham are going to be working under. So we've got Brazilian scouts, we're doing due diligence. You know, this, if you actually were to go online and type in this player's name, 𝙊𝙁𝙄𝙁𝙄𝘼, right, he comes up with what they say is like the top 5 best prospects coming from Brazil, alongside a couple of the players that have actually also now signed for some of the other clubs. I think Chelsea have got one. Is it 𝙒𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁? And obviously we know Real Madrid have signed one of them as well. So it looks like West Ham have actually, in theory, if you look at what some of the other clubs are doing in Europe, have managed to get a bit of a coup bringing this player in. And I think that's telling, because what's the key part here is there's a 20% sell-on clause as well, included in this deal. So, you know, there's some high hope for him. And I've seen some clips of him, Russ. I'm not portraying to know exactly everything about him. And he does, the one thing that I think stands out for me is he looks really strong as well as pacey.
He
looks strong. And if he's 18 and he looks at that level and he's playing for the under 20s, whatever it is, fingers crossed, that can only but get better.
You're totally right. And I think this is what we are doing now. We're buying on potential rather than the ready-made article, and that's the idea now, because we, you know, in 4 or 5 years' time, we don't know how much this lad's going to cost. This lad could be double, 3 times as much easily. You know, you look at and Tim was talking about Vini Jr. Obviously came from Brazil to Real Madrid for a relatively small, modest fee, but now he's one of the best players in the world and could command hundreds of millions of pounds. And so that's the whole idea of what we're trying to do. But with a 20% sell-on fee, it means we'd have to sell him for at least 36, a bit more, to make your money back. So to make the money back. So that to me is you know, it shows we've got real we're really sort of head up on this guy, definitely. Neighbour asking.
All right, sorry. I was just going to let you know what he said. I don't know if did you say that while I was looking through the stuff? I'll kind of reiterate what Lewis has actually said. So he says, "I'm very happy to be signing for West Ham, a club that trusted in my work. I also want to thank everyone at West Ham, particularly Tim and his team, who came to Brazil and not only talked with me, but also with my family." So Tim is at the wheel, 100%. They presented the project. There you go, keyword, project, and both my family and I liked it. So I'm very happy to be signing with the club and hope to contribute as much as possible. If things go well, we have a beautiful journey ahead. The head coach and I have already had a conversation. He showed me his project, and I believe I'll learn a lot from him. He's coached at the national level in Spain and managed big clubs. The Premier League is the best league in the world. I believe I'll improve a lot here with the entire staff at West Ham, which is crucial for my development. Growing up, whenever I had the chance, I watched English football. Seeing how it is now, being able to play here is an incredible feeling. Since I was 11, I had this dream, and now it's becoming a reality. I'm very happy about it and grateful to West Ham. Let's go for it. Now, Tim Steidten has also spoken.
And that's the interesting thing. That's the thing I think we need to really appreciate now. It's not it wouldn't necessarily be the head. Well, in essence, it would have been David Moyes was a person who would have done it beforehand. But that we're in a different system now. So it is Tim Steidten who's talking about him.
Yeah.
Continue to do.
So he has expressed his delight, Tim Steidten has, at securing a signature of a player rated widely as one of the most promising young players in Brazil. And he explained how the teenager will be supported as he adapts to life in football in the new country. And I think before I read the statement, this is the key part. You know, if you aren't here and you have time, you need to adapt to a country. Bringing you in late in a window means that, you know, when I think of like the 𝙊𝙗𝙄𝙁𝙗 situation, for example, I'm digressing here, but we brought 𝙊𝙗𝙄𝙁 in and we didn't start him from the off. We, you know, when other clubs who brought in the main striker started from the off, and we bedded him into the Premier League. But by the time we bedded him in, he had the potential to have potentially scored 2 or 3 goals from the off and hit the ground running. I'm not saying we do this with this player, but if we brought him in so early, he's got an opportunity now. He's got what? When does the season come back? August.
Yeah. I think by what we're led to be believed, this guy is someone who we're going to bring in, and he's a future. I mean, they see the future of him potential. So I don't. First game of the season to be starting, but
no. I'm not talking about playing in the first game of the season. I'm talking about the bedding in is the key part here. So he's got 2 months to, you know, and nothing's off the table under 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁 as well, Russ. So if he can impress and he can show and he's stepping up in training and all that sort of stuff, like there's a real option there, and that it's good to do this with 2 months before the season starts. It gets the ball rolling. It shows West Ham can compete with big European clubs to bring in youth players under a project as such. I'm just going to quickly read to you what Tim Steidten said. He said, "We're really happy that he is signed as a West Ham United player. He's a very exciting young talent who we have followed for some time. And once we became aware that he was available, 𝙊𝙁 and I were determined to bring him to London." So key words there, 𝙊𝙁 and I. Lewis has enjoyed a fantastic start to his professional career. Naturally a wide player, but with the flexibility to play across other attacking positions, which is an important and valuable factor in the modern game. He is technically very gifted, but also very good physical qualities, great pace, strength, and stamina. And these are traits that will help him to adapt to the demands of the Premier League and English football. Lewis is obviously still very young, but we have no doubt that he is ready to make an impact in the first team here. He's coming to a great environment where he will be surrounded by other exciting young players and good people who will support him every step of the way. We will look after him, help him and his family settle in and allow him time to adapt. But we are very excited about his immediate potential and are looking forward to seeing the progress he can make at West Ham. This is a very important sign for us. We've worked hard across the club, working closely with the board to secure his signature. So there you go. He's given a nod to the board. We know how tough the Premier League is, and we want a squad that is competitive next season, but also finding the balance to ensure that we have a plan for longer-term future. Exciting players like Lewis will help us reach those goals.
Says the right things, doesn't he? Says the right things, man. I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting. Very exciting. I mean, we obviously yesterday, Budgie, Kieran, and Irish Tommy were talking about, you know, should we be nervous or excited? And we should be excited. There he is. Looking very happy. Yeah. Looking very happy. Very happy indeed. A point Naver's made, you know, in terms of, no, it wouldn't work because he would have had to be here for 3 years and he's already 18. So that won't happen. You'd have 19, 20, it's up to your 21st. So we should have, if we signed him the 17th and it's before he turned 18, 19, 20, you know, so it's got to be before you turn 21. So it doesn't quite work. I'm so nervous, but excited at the same time. This is the beginning of the new West Ham. And it is, you know, we talk about the project. We talk about, you know, that message from Tim is pretty much all you need to know about what we're looking at now. Him and 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁, they've identified it's about project. It's about, you know, there's all the right keywords. If he was doing an SEO on that, all the right keywords for what we're going to be getting in the next, hopefully next couple of years at least.
I think it shows you though this is the fact that, you know, moving on as we have done under the new regime, we've done our due diligence. It was never a God-given right that we were going to go and sign this player. So they had to and felt the need to go out there. And I think that's right, especially when you're dealing with someone at that age, you know, coming so far into Europe, coming to the Premier League and having that value put upon your head to come to the best league in the world. You know, people will then pay attention and put their eyes on you immediately. So to do that and to make a family feel comfortable about coming to the club, you know, fair play to the way that Tim does and conducts his style of technical director, and he obviously is very, very good at doing his job. And again, we have to just touch on the fact that if you look at the long history of players that Tim Steidten has found and brought through at most of the clubs he's worked for, then he is nearly right on most of them, if not all of them, in terms of the projection of what they foresee the player to be, i.e., a success. Either way. So yeah, okay, we're building upon buying someone with a bit of promise that's got no record in European football or in the Premier League. But that doesn't mean that they don't turn out to be successful. And I think if we're going to be signing more players, Russ, I think you're going to see a fine balance between what we've just done and a few more recognised players.
Yeah, I think the nature of the squad building we have to do, you'll get that. Not every, as I said before, not everyone. I'm not assuming everyone we bring in until in this summer transfer is going to be under the age of 24, because for me, that's you need, and I keep saying it. I mean, Brighton, for everyone Brighton buys in, they still got James Milner on. They brought him in. They brought in Lallana. So you still have to have that sort of consistent experience, and then that's how the younger players learn. We had Darren on the channel. We just put it out this afternoon. Actually, his interview, and he talks about learning from the old pros. Learning from Teddy Sheringham, and you need those not only for the academy players but for the younger players like Lewis to develop into Premier League players, into proven Premier League players who can be commanding 80-90 million pound transfers. Which he's got all the attributes to do that. It might be that he's seen as a Kudus replacement come next summer, but he's got a year to get. We've got a year to worry about that, haven't we? Really.
I mean, to be honest with you, to be honest with you, Russ, as well, if he proves himself, as any player does in the West Ham training system and pre-season and all that sort of stuff, come the start of the season, nobody knows who's going to be starting for West Ham. Nobody knows, and nobody knows the style. Hopefully, we'll have a kind of understanding of what 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙁 will be doing if you base it upon pre-season. But even at that, yourself, it's an interesting one. It is exciting. The show that Budgie and Kieran did last night, are you excited or are you nervous? I think there's a bit of both, because it's the world of unknown. But I'll be honest with you, I'm more excited than I am nervous, because this is what you want to be doing. And again, whether it was what do you call him, 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁 or our previous boss David Moyes, sometimes signing a player that's unknown sometimes works out to be wonderful. And not many people knew about Thomas Souček when he came in, albeit many people might not be a huge fan of it now, but at the time he was the right player at the right time that really progressed us really well. But this is a different type of signing. This is someone who was 10 years younger than what Thomas Souček was as well. So,
and also it shows a difference. That's a case in point. Thomas Souček came in as a guy's going to run into the ground, going to do it. That's what I want. I want committed players. This guy is skill. This guy is techers. This guy is speed. This guy is totally different than arguably the types of signings that maybe Moyes would have brought in. Now, with Tim as well. Obviously, this is his first proper job in charge of all transfers. Whereas, when he was at 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁, he was part of the group and at 𝙂𝙁 Bremen. But here, it's like, and you can see what we're trying to achieve. And I think it's really exciting that we got someone like Louis in who can play 3 or 4 different positions across the front. And so can Kudus. And so can Bowen. And so can Paqueta, really. And so, for a defence, and I've said this before, for a defence, if you're interchanging like 3 or 4 players, it's a fucking nightmare for a defence.
Yeah.
And so that's what I love, because I love being disruptive, and this is being disruptive. This will get people standing up and taking notice of West Ham.
100%.
Early business
100%.
for young players ready to go.
Yeah, early business key, and getting this done, getting this over the line, announcing it like they have today, the day before, hopefully gives you one step ahead, and you can start. Listen, they are focusing on other deals as much as me and Russ and Holly and everyone on the channels and everyone all over YouTube and social media are talking about players left, right, and centre. We kind of take the mick out of the amount of players we're linked to. I think we're near 100. I don't know if we are over 100.
Over 105.
We're over 105 now, and the thing hasn't even opened. But don't fear because they are absolutely working on another deal. Like, we know that, like, they are absolutely all over it. They've probably honed in already on a player. You know, there's rumors saying that that player could be 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁, but then there's other rumors saying it could be someone else. A bid's in for Vital from Brazil as well. They could be trying to create a little Brazilian contingent. You know, they may be confident that Paqueta might be getting off with this, or, you know, I don't know. They're just it's just a very, very interesting thing, and I'm just delighted. I really am, Russ. The amount of times we've spoken over the last couple of windows, right? And we have said, come into like the third preseason game, and someone says in the chat, "Are you worried yet?" And they're asking the question on the basis of the fact that we haven't signed anyone or we've not done any business, and you know, and me and you have 9 times out of 10 gone, "I'll give it till this game before I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'll give it till this game before I'm worried." But for the first time, we're nowhere near preseason to come back. The Euros haven't even started, and we've done our first bit of business. So
I know.
let's just hope that something else can follow quite quickly, and we can get a little bit more excited, because we're going to need to. If we're looking at 6 to 8 players coming in, we're going to need to do some business quickly. So
yeah, I mean that's. I think you'll have a couple. Will be in at the end of June. When I think Wes Fodringham will sign, or 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁, or not 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁. That'd be brilliant. Aszimir 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁 will, either one of them will sign, I think, on the 1st of July. And so, yeah, I mean, we've got. I mean, it's, for me, it shows intent, and it shows a different way of looking at things, and it's a different way of working. And you know, and this is probably how Tim's wanted to work. But we've had different Dave for so long. You know, he wants to run his MOT on everyone. These are the guys we identified. You know, Lewis Guilherme was someone we were open about getting. He's gone out. He's actually brought back a Brazilian for his first time at West Ham as well. So.
Well, and what's interesting is Richard has just messaged in what I was about to say, because I've seen it on Twitter. We've just signed a player who was born in 2006. I literally feel ill. We've spent out money. It's so funny. Well, we were all crying our eyes out as Steven Gerrard was running up, smashing that ball into the back of the net. Yeah, he wasn't even bloody born, or probably was just born. And he's now representing us at West Ham. But listen, I'm delighted. I'm happy. I hope everyone else is, and that we've got the kind of we're off the mark. We're off the mark.
Off the mark. Off the mark. I can change my screen. I can change my list, and I can put one as green now.
Can we have it?
100. I'm about to do it for the next time we do the transfer rumors. I keep obviously I keep a track of them. But yeah,
Pegad says, I just hope people give it time before they jump on the insert name here. No, it's true. And the thing is, like, listen, I'm excited, but I'm aware that you cannot expect immediate results overnight. You know, there is a bit of a big rebuild. There's a new style coming our way. And we're going to have to be prepared to watch that new style. And if that new style means that, you know, you could end up, I mean, fucking hell, Russ, man, you've seen teams go at other teams and be possessional based and not do well with it. But I think the key part is we've got a core, and if we can well, I was going to say we kind of have got. I don't think we've got as big a core as what we had maybe this time last year. But our core is maybe halved, so we've got a kind of half core of players that I'm like, yeah, you build around, if that makes any sense. Because when you look at a core, you're looking at someone who's the main
through the middle
guy, someone through the middle, some central defender, and your keeper. I think we've got the keeper. I don't think we've got the central defender. I think Alvarez could be part of that core under 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁, and then we need the talisman up top. So we don't really have the core.
Yeah, we haven't got a core yet. I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk about Max Kilman at Hammer's Headlines because apparently his price has been set, and so we're going to talk about that. But you're right. We've got that one in. We've got the ball rolling. Now I think for me, we go back to front. We start. You know, we've got to get Wes sorted out, get that third choice sorted out. But it's the centre halves. Let's get these centre halves in, because you know that's what's going to make a difference. And by the sounds of it, Holly spoke about yesterday, Zuma's apparently on the transfer list. We know 𝙎𝙬𝙁𝙁's likely to leave, possibly to Atletico Madrid, and bringing in a whole wave of new centre halves. And I'm excited by that. I mean, I think 𝙊𝙗. I don't think he's going to be too expensive. He's 27. That's what he's saying. We're buying someone like Luis Guilherme. We're buying on promise rather than the finished product. Someone like Mats 𝙊𝙗 is pretty much ready. He's a international, not international, but he's a captain for a Premier League side. You're buying, so you have to pay a premium for that. But going out and buying an 18-year-old centre half and putting them in and throwing them isn't going to work. I don't think. Yet Greaves, he's another one who wants 6'4". And all these guys seem to be at least 6'3", 6'4" as well. We're linked with, so clearly, they're not like little blokes, So
I'll be honest with you though, like the one player that would leave in our defence that I would be disappointed about would be a Gerd. I'm taken away from the fact that if he wants to leave, that's different. If he doesn't want to leave, and we look at moving him on, I am disappointed with that one because I still think there's a quality player there. My jury's out on Mavropanos. Obviously, Ogbonna's gone, but there's a huge rebuild there. But if we're linked and get some of the players we're linked to, I mean, I'm more sold on Greaves than I am on 𝙊𝙗. I get the 𝙊𝙗 thing. I get it because he comes with that pedigree and that experience in the Premier League. But Greaves excites me more. But then the difference between them two is one plays in the Championship, one plays in the Premier League, and's got a lot more experience in the Premier League. So the rebuild is desperately needed there. And I think if you have someone like a Gerd in and around, the problem, Russ, is if you're not going to build around someone like a Gerd and you don't have European football, then will a Gerd be happily being second fiddle? And I don't think he will.
No, a Gerd's been wanting out since for months. So and when it comes to a situation like that, I'd rather want people who are going to play for our club. And I agree. Absolutely. I think Jacob Greaves is someone. I think it's going to be two. I mean, we need two centre halves. So I think I wouldn't be surprised seeing Greaves and 𝙊𝙗 coming in.
Yeah. So it's going to be. It's going to be. I don't doubt for a second. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the next two players we bring in are going to be defenders, because they probably won't be. Because if we are as close to a keeper and also a kind of inside left winger, i.e. Jota Silva, someone like that, then they could be the next two ones in the door. But we'll wait and see. Who knows?
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. As I said, we've got. It's one's in, and hopefully that will just start the ball rolling. The momentum will start coming through now, and we'll start seeing a few more deals coming in. A little bit more. I mean, obviously, it looks like the Vitória deal. It's about £4 million difference between what we were prepared and what International are wanting to sell him for. So, look, first one's for the door. We haven't even opened the transfer window. That's good. Now we want more.
We do.
What is Samba Steidten going to do next?
What is he going to do? So just to give you a bit of context about how much the deal is, apparently, according to sources, it's a €23 million deal with €7 million add-ons plus a 20% sell-on clause. 5-year contract. 18-year-old. Not a full Brazilian international. Brazilian under, I think he's currently playing for the 20s. Yeah. So that's what good. We have brought in. That's what we've brought in.
Good times. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? That's it. I'm sure there'll be they'll apparently they still have to get work permit clearance as well for him. But because of the fact we're not in Europe, not in the EU, the restrictions on bringing in Brazilian players is less because we've got our own. So that's why a lot of teams like us are looking in the Brazilian market, because it's actually easier to bring them over. Where before you'd have to make sure they'd played at a certain level or that type of thing. But it's not so much the case now. So it's a lot easier.
Let Russ talk about this banter rumor. I'm going to talk
about it at Hammer's Headlines later on today. Keep an eye on it. Hammer's Headlines today. Us and Crystal Palace apparently. And he's the 105th player we've been linked with. Just leave it like that. Homegrown, but $300,000 a week. Yeah, not gonna happen. Right, that's it, man. Not much else to say at the moment, is there?
No.
If you keep positive, if you want to, we've obviously just released the Darren Blewett interview. It's a long one. I think it's the longest interview we've ever done. But it's very. and I'd say it's fantastic in a. I don't know what the word is. It's a full circle. It's brilliant. So he's lived a life, old 𝙊𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙁, and really inspirational as well. Actually, because it is Men's Mental Health Week as well this week, so it does work.
Yeah. Get yourselves heavily involved in that. On top of that, before we do go, we've officially hit 25,000 subscribers.
Mental, isn't it?
So massive thank you to everyone out there for supporting us. And as I've always said, the target, Russ, we've got 6 months to get 30. 5 more K for 30K subscribers.
And also don't forget the Euros start tomorrow, and I'll be giving you my indispensable guide to the hammers in the Euros. That'll be out tomorrow lunchtime.
And whilst Russ is doing that, I'll be at SmackDown Wrestling watching it.
No, you won't be there yet because it's at lunchtime.
Yeah, no.
But aren't you going to be queuing up to watch to meet AJ Styles in Smith's Toys?
We're leaving in literally 2 minutes, so I'm going to go.
If I don't get a picture of AJ Styles doing the hammer sign, you failed, my friend. You have failed. Although, if you do stumble across Elton Prince, like from Pretty Deadly, I think he's a West Ham fan.
All right, okay.
I think he is. I've been trying to get him on the chat. I think he is, but anyway.
Right, okay. I'll have a look.
Anyway, all the best. Enjoy it, my friends.
I will do.
And enjoy to you too. Guys, take care, stay safe, stay well. So Hammers Headlines in a few hours' time. And we'll see you soon. Much love. Bye.
Bye.